Absentee fatherhood worsens economic hardship in female-headed households. That's according to President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa has labeled this situation a tragic phenomenon with consequences for a child's development. As the country is marking Women's Month, many women-headed households are finding it hard to survive. Let's discuss this issue now with humanitarian and founder of the Growing Up Without a Father Foundation, Charley Pietersen. Charley, good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday View. I am sure, of course, when you heard the words of the President speaking about households where there are absent fathers, it must have touched a nerve and resonated with you yesterday. But what's top of mind? Why are we still battling as a society with fatherless children?
Brother, thank you so much. And I think the President was right. I thought that he was busy reading my book, Growing Up Without a Father. You see, Brother, is that there's not enough attention given to this. And no one is really putting effort.
I can't hear you, Charley. I can't hear you. You can't hear me, brother? Charley, I can't hear you at all. I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Charley.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Now I couldn't hear you at all. I don't know what. So just take it from the top because I couldn't hear you at all. Why are we still faced this challenge of fatherless children?
Brother, thank you so much. I think the President is 100% correct. And I think what happened, it looks like he was reading my book, Growing Up Without a Father. I think we're not putting a lot of effort into fatherlessness because fatherlessness is the root of all social ills in this country and all over the world. If we also can have a department of men and boys, that can really focus and create awareness like we do of all the other programs like HIV and AIDS, so that we can start educating our boys in school, educating our men that are already there's runaway fathers. Get right, go back, look for your kids that you neglected, so that we can start there. I believe that there's not enough attention given to fathers.
Yeah. So, what can be done to bring hope, to help children? I mean, who are growing up without fathers, because, as you say, many of our problems in society begin there.
Brother, we're doing our best, but we need the muscle like the government, like the Department of Women and Children. If we can have that as men, so that we can start mobilizing men movements, instead of us getting, intoxicated over the weekend as men, let's go into our townships and our areas, our taxi ranks, and educating our young men and young women about, it's not just about making a child. There's accountability and responsibility. And if you look at the figure, it's 62%, but I believe it's more than that. And look at the grant system, child support system, it's increasing, brother. One of the days our government will run out of money because everyone will have to pay child support grants. This is how it's happening, with due respect.
Now, your foundation, Growing Up Without a Father Foundation, from that experience, what are you finding out? What are the interventions that seem to be working for you in assisting these boys who are growing up without fathers?
For us is to catch them mostly when they are young, to educate them about, self-love. You don't have to prove yourself as a man or as a young man to say, no, I have to make a baby to be proven as a man. No. All things that were taught in the past. We're teaching them accountability and responsibility, but we need financial resources, but then we need support. And I'm busy now putting a documentary together as an educational tool because we can't reach them all. So I believe the documentary will reach even our rural areas as part of our education strategy.
Yeah, your background is in sports, Charley. Part of your background, football, to be specific. Does sport play a role? Can it play a role in what you are doing, for example?
100%, and I promise you, Braden, if we can ask soccer coaches, rugby coaches, and all their coaches, the challenges that they are getting, they will tell you most of the players that are giving most problems are kids that grew up without fathers, even at schools, because they need attention, they need guidance. So my thing as a former, CEO of Bloom Celtics, and I also have a degree in management and leadership. So I believe if we can combine these two and start at sports level, all kinds of sports, educating our kids about, it's not just about making a child and leaving a child like that. It's about accountability and responsibility and also self-love. I believe if you can get all SAFA, rugby unions and everything as part of this drive, or to create awareness, we can reach a lot of youngsters out there.
Okay, Charlie, as we conclude, and very briefly, are you confident that we will defeat or stop the culture of fatherlessness that dominates our nation today?
Brother, it is a huge task. I believe we need to go back. If we can get the fathers that have run away and fathered kids to go back and look up for their kids, it needs to start there. So if they can go back and look up for their kids and correct, what they've done, and the youngsters now, and educate the youngsters now, we can close the gap, Braden. But it's a huge, huge task.
Thank you very much. Charley Pietersen, humanitarian and founder of the Growing Up Without a Father Foundation, talking to us here on the Midday View on the back of what President Ramaphosa had to say on Women's Day. One of the points he mentioned was the fact that absentee fatherhood is worsening economic hardship that is facing female-headed households in our country. This, of course, being Women's Month.